everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you very much for spending a little bit more time with me today. So today I'm going to do a stitch with me. This one will be one with chat, and I'll go through your comments. A couple of things going on this morning. Andy is at home with me today because we're about to, when I finish this, we're going to take a trip for a day or two. And it's raining, so you may hear some tip-tap tapping of the keys and tip-tap tapping of the raindrops. So it's definitely a wet and windy Monday morning. We now have Storm Debbie. Yeah, I thought it was Danny, you know, Debbie. So yeah, it's one of those, but we're going to do a little bit of stitching and answer some comments. So as you may know, I filmed this video on a Monday morning, so I did a live stream Sunday night and I worked on this piece, and I've just sort of kept this one out on the frame for today's stitch with me. This is Envy. Artwork is Marta Dahlig, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I'm stitching it 1/1 full cross on 25 count Lugana. And it's really funny because I was looking on Facebook earlier on the memories section, and this day, I think it was 12 years ago, Avarice had started to get a face. So, and now I'm not that far away from, because this part here is hair, I'm not far away at being at a similar stage with this one. It won't be 12 years for the next one though, she says, hopeful. And he's laughing over there in a little bit of mirth and merriment. But yeah, considering I'm a quarter of the way through this in 12 months, you know. Anyhow, so like I said, we're going to do this bit of a stitch with me, a bit of chatter, go through some comments. But yeah, hope everybody's doing well. It was a nice live stream last night, a little bit quieter than previous ones, but that's okay because I know people are busy. We're coming up to, well, the next thing I think in the USA will be Thanksgiving, and then of course we've got, you know, Christmas just around the corner as well. There was a retreat as well going off here, the Floss Friends UK retreat, so maybe one or two of my regular Sunday night viewers were at the retreat. Could be, who knows. So there we go. So as I said, me and Andy are getting ready for a little trip. I'm on annual leave from work. We are off up to Cumbria to do some filming for his channel. I was in Nottingham at the weekend with Hannah, and we went and did a little bit of shopping. And I'm off at the end of this week to Manchester with Lauren, so I'm doing quite a lot of miles this week, and staying on track with my weight loss as well, because no matter what happens, I am not giving in.
You do it very well.
Do have a couple of questions in relation to that as well today, so I will get round to those. Thank you, Andy.
You're welcome.
I am 2 pounds away from losing 3 stone. I've lost 40 pounds altogether, or 2 stone and 12. So, yeah, just to kind of keep it going. Be a little bit of top arm on that stitch. So again, I'm keeping the camera out a little bit on this one. It seemed like a good thing when I did this on Stitching Shelf. So I'm just going to keep the camera out a bit on this one as well. But we'll have a nice hour and see how far we can get.
Knowing you very far. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, we'll have to see, won't we? So, yeah, I've had a full-on week and another full-on week incoming. But there's always time for stitches. So, what else have I been up to? I don't think there's been much else, has there, Andy?
Not much that I can think of.
Still waiting for my gecko to come. I would imagine that they are starting to get busier for Christmas now. So, and as I said on my live stream last night, Gecko Rouge are retiring all their Medusa doll maker artwork. So if you're after a Gecko Rouge kit with Medusa doll maker's artwork, it's my understanding that she'll be doing her own on Etsy. But if you're wanting a Gecko kit, I'd be perhaps looking to go and grab them while you can. This is not a sponsored video for Gecko Rouge. You all know I like Gecko Rouge. So, we'll get cracking on some comments in a moment and see what you lovely people have been writing to me since my last stitch with me, which I do believe also featured this one. It wasn't my chatty. It was a alternative the last time that I had this one out in a stitch with me. My last chatty stitch with me, I had Stitching Shelf. So we'll be starting some comments around about there. But actually my first comment is on my last stitch with me with Envy. And it's from the alternative, number 42. And Linda says, fabulous, Nicola, as always. It is a gorgeous piece. This one and Stitching Shelf, I think, are the channel favourites. I think my Realm of Middle-earth map does get a look in. But I think, you know, this one and Stitching Shelf are the ones that are very popular when I upload. It is gorgeous, though. So, on my last chatty, Kelly S1549 says, congratulations on your continued weight loss. I too am on a weight loss journey. Would you share what favourite meals you like to eat that's weight loss friendly? It's always nice to get some ideas of what to prepare for myself. Well, I'm following Slimming World here in the UK, and I work on the basis of keep it simple. I will eat a lot of chicken and a lot of meat with all visible fat removed. So chicken, ham, bacon, pork, beef, you name it, as long as the visible fat is removed, ideally before cooking, I will have any meats. And then for vegetables, I like things. I really do like tinned tomatoes. It's kind of become a bit of a standing joke in this house. There's always now tinned tomatoes in the cupboard. But they are quick, they're nice, you know, they're sweet, so they give you that sweet hit, and they are nutritious as well, without having a load of calories in them. So one thing that I do like to do is what they call a Slimming World fry up, and I will get some bacon and cut off the fat, so I'll basically have the medallion part. I don't use any fat for frying, I just tend to dry fry. And then I'll add, you can have as many eggs as you want. I usually opt for scrambled or boiled. Just get me thread. So I'll have 2, sometimes 3 eggs, depending on how hungry I am. Some tomatoes, tinned tomatoes, and if I've got anything like mushrooms, I'll throw in some mushrooms as well. You can get some sausages which are very low in sins, but I don't normally tend to bother, if I'm honest. For me, just the bacon does me nicely. So I'll have that. Another favourite of mine is if I go to the supermarket, sometimes you can get those handy packs of ready prepared vegetables, which have got like broccoli, carrots, cauliflower in them, or carrots and peas and cauliflower. I quite like those because everybody here likes carrots. Not everybody likes peas. Not everybody likes broccoli. I think I'm the only one who eats cauliflower or sprouts or anything like that. But I do go and, you know, I might grab a bag of that vegetable and have that with a chicken breast or with some seafood sticks or, you know, just some cold ham. And if I'm hungry, I'll get a sweet potato, make it into a jacket potato, and use the cheese from my healthy extra allowance on that, which makes a nice meal for me. One of the ladies at Slimming Group has jacket potato with mushy peas on it every day for her lunch, and she's lost stones. So, you know, if you're keeping the fats off, so no butter, that kind of thing, and nothing with flour, no pastries, no trans fats, you know, then for me, it's a case of keep it simple. If I go out, I might have a steak dinner. Steak with some salad or some root vegetables and a jacket potato with no butter. It does me. So meals can vary. Lunches I like to have crisp breads with some cold meat and some cheese. Well, I use like the cheese triangles. And I like pickles, so I'll have a bowl with pickles in it. So pickled cabbage, pickled beetroot, pickled onions, gherkins, and I quite like sauerkraut. So, you know, I might have a bowl with all of those things in it. When I go to work, I'll take a box which has got some chopped up fresh tomato and cucumber, and then either some ham or some chicken. I also eat a lot of fruit. It's not unusual for me to eat 4 satsumas in a day. I'll usually have fruit and yogurt for a breakfast, and then the fruit can be anything. It'll be either satsumas or blueberries or raspberries or strawberries. I've got some pears this week. I love pears, with some 0% fat Greek yogurt on top, which is a high protein food, so it does keep me fuller for longer. And I'll snack on fruit between meals as well. Another dinner that I do have, which is quite nice, is that I'll have some pasta, just some plain boiled pasta, with some chopped tomatoes in it, or passata, and then add some mussels without the shells, just literally the mussel meat, which makes a seafood pasta, which is quite nice. And I've done it also with tuna, which is equally nice, because people think that fish and tomatoes don't go together. They actually do. So for me, it's a case of keep it simple. Jacket potato with cottage cheese or tuna, with a nice big salad, that kind of thing. So yeah, I eat a lot of boiled eggs, and I drinking plenty of fluid. So squash, calorie-free squash. I'm not a fan of water, so I do have those little Robinsons ultra concentrated things, which can slip in a pocket or in my bag. And that's what I do for drinks. I'll have a couple of coffees throughout the day, but I certainly don't drink as much tea and coffee as I used to. I used to drink an awful lot, and now I drink a lot less. So I hope that helps. And good luck. But yeah, I think if you keep it simple, you can't go wrong. When you start to add in sauces and cook for hours and things, I get bored with that. And also I think as well, you're destroying some of the more you cook and process something, you're destroying the base nutrients. Could be me, but you know, that's how I feel. And I've always found good losses for keeping things simple. Let's have a look at the next one. So Fairy247 says, love to watch my fingers working. You know, a lot of people have commented about my technique and stuff. I just kind of get into a rhythm of what I'm doing. And I think having the long nails makes my hands look quite nice. So it's like an ASMR visual, isn't it? What is the visual equivalent of ASMR? Let's just see if there is one.
I'm sure there is one.
Just mark these off. Don't want to get lost. So Daphne Chamberlain also comments on my last chatty and says, keep up the good job on the weight loss, how I intend to. I wanted to get below a certain point for Christmas, and I think I'm going to get there. I've been enjoying the Stitch With Me. I've been working on Cinderella Castle kit that is by the Art of Disney, and working on one of the trees. Haven't had any Disney kits. Are those the ones that you can only get in? I know that there are some that you can only get in the parks, aren't there? Never been to Disney. Or was it the Thomas Kincaid ones that you could only get in the parks? I know that some of them are quite rare now as well. Let's have a quick drink. So Norma says of a stitching shelf, what lovely colours in this design. It's a beauty. Yep, it certainly is. And I think having the camera sort of out a little bit so you could see more of the design, it did kind of showcase that A, I've got a decent camera on this phone which picks up those colours, and B, the gorgeous colours in the design. It is a max colour, so you know there are more colours than, you know, I think there's like 250 colours in it, and having more colours will sort of help to make what you can see incredibly eye-catching. And I mean, of course, that's only the spring shelf, so wait till we get into the summer and the autumn and the winter ones. There will be lots of colour, I'm sure, in them. So on my last chatty, we were talking with Sue. Sue is in Canada, and we were talking about comedies, and I asked if she gets to see much British comedy, and she says, I enjoy Mrs. Brown's Boys. I can take it or leave it, Mrs. Brown's Boys. It's one of those, got to fancy watching it. I've always loved the Monty Python groups of Faulty Towers. Yeah, Faulty Towers, I don't know how on earth they got away with some of the things that they did.
It was of its time, though.
Definitely of its time. My favourite episode was the one with Geoffrey Palmer in it, The Kipper and the Corpse. I met Geoffrey Palmer just the once, and he was such a nice guy. But that is my favourite Monty Python episode. She says she's got Monty Python on DVD, and she watches Mrs. Brown's Boys on YouTube now and again, but hasn't seen Faulty Towers for many years. It used to play around supper time, so she'd watch it when eating. I enjoy British humour, but my husband is French Canadian and doesn't always get the jokes. But it's okay because she watches them by herself the most of the times. I know that Sue likes British crime, and she mentions it here. Midsummer Murders and A Touch of Frost. I know because we've talked about Midsummer Murders before. I like Midsummer Murders, and a couple of episodes filmed in the pub that I used to help run in the Lee in Buckinghamshire.
Plenty of scenes in Amersham as well.
Yeah, Amersham and Great Missenden.
In fact, there was one, Nick, I didn't tell you this, that was on my mum's telly when I was down there last week, and I recognised Amersham straight away because of that building in the middle of the road.
Oh, the marketplace.
Yeah.
There's one like that in Gerrard's Cross as well, so I hope you were right in it, it was Amersham.
I could tell it was Amersham.
Yeah. We're up to Series 18 of Midsummer. We have Blacklist, but haven't watched them all yet. It's not sure something that we'd like. If you can recommend anything else, I'd love it. So, in terms of British comedies, I like The Good Life, which had Richard Briers and Felicity Kendall, Penelope Keith, Paul Eddington in it. That was another 70s sitcom. Keeping Up Appearances, Patricia Routledge, Hyacinth Bouquet. Always thought that was quite funny. Did enjoy that. There were some good ones that were knocking around in the 80s. Only Fools and Horses, of course, everybody knows about Only Fools and Horses. David Jason, Nicholas Lyndhurst. Nicholas Lyndhurst was also in another one called Goodnight Sweetheart. Any other sitcoms you can think of, dear? Oh yes, if you like alternative comedy set in space, Red Dwarf, Craig Charles and Chris Barry. Yeah, quite another funny player. If you do have access to BBC iPlayer, so they are showing the entire series. For drama and also sort of some mystery detective, Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes, both series starring Philip Glenister. Again, available on iPlayer, but also if you can get, it's a bit like YouTube, it's called Daily Motion. All of the episodes are on Daily Motion as well. So it might be worth having a look at Daily Motion as well for other sitcoms that you might not be able to find on YouTube. So yeah, there's a few there. Dr. Foster, that was a good one as well for British drama, about a woman who finds out that her husband is cheating on her, and that again is on iPlayer. And it was also filmed in Chesham, or in part was filmed in Chesham, Andy. Down at the waterside at the doctor's. So yeah, a few bits and bobs around. But yeah, check out Daily Motion, so you might find that you're able to access some things on there that you're not able to get on YouTube or on any other online platform. And if you're like me and you refuse to pay for something that you've already paid for once, you know, we pay a license fee here in the UK, then I absolutely don't blame you for looking online and seeing where you can watch it for free, because that is exactly what I'd do. So all of those things that I've talked about are complete as well. Ashes to Ashes was filmed in 2004. Life on Mars was around 2000. Red Dwarf was in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. So yeah, have a look and see what you can find. It's a shame actually, because I did actually have all of the Fawlty Towers series on CD at one point, DVD. I think my ex-husband took them. Otherwise I would have happily sent them over to you, because there were only a certain number of episodes of it made, and such a classic British series, you know. But as Andy said, very much of its time.
If you want something a little less well known but still very funny, I recommend Black Books. It's a sitcom set in a bookshop in London, and it's got Bill Bailey in it.
All right.
That's quite funny. Not a lot of people know it though. It was on Channel 4, and you know,
right.
you know what Channel 4 is like.
Channel 4 hides their light under a bushel as far as a lot of content's concerned. Miss quite a bit on Channel 4 because it's not necessarily advertised so much. 924. So I hope that helps, Sue. A few ideas for you there. So Joe Sorensen says, hi Nicola, having the view farther back really lets you know, see how much you've done. My first thought was, wow, she's done more than I thought, and the colours are amazing. So yeah, that sort of validates there about a stitching shelf, that showing more of it. Whilst it's nice to see close up showing more of the work sometimes is definitely advantageous, because you guys get to see it. Mrs. Miggins says fabulous weight loss. £4 at that stage is quite an achievement. So my last weigh-in when I was on my chatty stitch with me was £4. And losing 3.5 this week means over half a stone in 2 weeks. So, and yes, absolutely losing it at that kind of rate at this stage is an achievement. But I think, you know, when you're absolutely ready to lose the weight, you don't let anything get in your way. No matter what, I have this ethos of no matter what anybody says to me or how they make me feel, the answer, the solution is not in food, and food won't make me feel better. It will make me feel worse. So stay on track and deal with my emotions in a different way. And I have had a bit of an emotional time over the last few weeks, I'm not going to lie. There's been stuff going on here that I don't talk about. But even sort of through all of that, I refuse to allow food to win, because it's not the problem. So how can food be a solution? And she said that she would see us Sunday, and of course she did, and she came in on our live stream. I love my live streams. I've now done 10 of them, and it's nice that they're popular. And I love interacting with you guys on a Sunday night. It rounds off my week beautifully. And I will continue making them as long as people continue to come and watch. You know, if I end up doing them for like 3 people, then, you know, that's probably the time to give up. But while ever I've got, you know, a reasonable audience, I'll continue doing them. I think last night there were about 25 at the peak. I've known there'd be about 38-ish. So, as I said, I think though, because there were things going on. Diwali as well, a retreat. And of course, you know, we are getting closer to Christmas. A couple of my regulars didn't pop in, but I understand people are busy. So there we go. So Jane Murray says that she enjoyed today's session on Stitching Shelf. Hopefully you enjoyed viewing it just as much as I enjoyed stitching it. I do love a stitch. Okay, Sharon Marie says about Stitching Shelf that this is her favourite work in progress of mine, and she loves to see the progress on it. Yeah, I have it sort of stood at the side of my stitching chair. Well, I say stood, it's fell over at the moment. So every time I pass by my stitching spot to go upstairs, I see it, so I get to look at it all the time. And I do, every time I look at it, I think, yeah, I like it. So Julie Q also says on that one, enjoyed today's stitch with me. I was crocheting along. I think this is my favourite of your whips. Beautiful colours. Yep. Definitely a fave. Lynn, Crazy Stitcher, says, glad to be watching you stitch this. I've barely started. Well, come on, Lynn, what are you waiting for? Catch me up. Get your needle out. Sherry says, thanks for the live stream. The progress is looking good. That was on the live stream I did last week, and I can't remember for the life of me what I stitched on. Oh, Maui Princess. That was it. Which is going to have a bit extra time this week because I'm taking her with me and my crocheting. Clara says, sorry I missed the live. I remember during the day and somehow time got away from me. It happens. You know, sometimes time can go past in a blink of an eye, and before you realise it, you're playing catch up rather than being one ahead. I understand that. Loved hearing what everyone was stitching and all the topics that were discussed. Especially when Gecko Rouge kits are mentioned, my ears tend to perk up. Well, if you watched last night's live back, Clara, or Sunday's live back, you will hear Gecko Rouge mentioned again. I simply love their kits. Congrats on the continued weight loss and hope to be with you on your next live. Let's mark these little lot off. Kel's Bells says, lovely to watch your live a day later. Kel's works and he's not always around during the time that my lives are broadcast, and that's fine. But yeah, always able to watch them a day later on catch up. And where have my scissors gone? Oh, got them. Lovely work and great chatting with Andy too. Yeah, Andy does. I think he quite enjoys popping in on my lives because I pop in on his. So, you know, all's fair and all that. So I published a floss tube as usual on Tuesday, and Sharon says, nice progress, enjoy your leave. Oh, I will. And I am. And I intend to. And Sherry says, thanks for the video. Progress is looking good. Yeah, I did sort of have a good week last week, I think. So, great stitching and great crocheting. Thank you, Jane. I'm taking the crocheting with me on this trip and hoping to get a bit more done because it's not so easy to stitch in the car, but it's easy to crochet. So, and have fun on my vacay, I will. Patricia Pilling says, great progress, you have to live your life, so thanks for the heads up. That was because I did mention that I wasn't sure about sort of timings for getting out the stitch with me and my floss tube, but I will be managing both. I've been able to sort of not manipulate it, that's the wrong word, but arrange the time enough to plan the time enough so I can manage to do both. But yeah, it was a bit tenuous for a moment, for a brief second.
Just better pack this up.
The lovely Karen Needlebug says on my latest floss tube, 612. Let me just get this thread out.
It's right now.
Yeah, good. Means I'll be able to film the floss tube. Says, lovely to see all your progress, such great pieces, and you make such awesome progress. Enjoy your crochet. Always nice to do something different. And again, enjoy your vacay. Yeah, it's lovely to do something different, and I'm hoping to have this finished within the week so we can get it off to Gedling where it will
Within this week.
Where it will live. Hopefully, I'm hoping to get it finished this week. Yeah. The kids always find it bewildering when I'm doing something different to stitching. But Lauren's face was an absolute picture when she was watching how quick I was crocheting. Clara says, on my last floss tube, great video, lots of beautiful progress. Glad you'll be off for a few days with a bit of travel. Enjoy. And I hope that you'll have time to stitch. Take care and see you next time. Clara, I will make time. You know me.
You will have time to stitch.
Of course I will. You know, I like, you know, once we've done our bit of filming, to be perched in a room, stitching in hand, you know, laptop, something to listen to, and so on. It's my happy place. Precious little happy places around, but for me, it's my stitching. Right. So there's a few colour changes in this bit. SM8114 says, lovely video, thank you. So this is on my floss tube, starting and ending my threads. I've been stitching for over 20 years and it never occurred to me to end my threads like this, and I will definitely give it a go. As I said before, on the starting and ending my threads, for me, I am absolutely lazy when it comes to flipping my work. So I devised this method to really sort of save me time and energy because I'm lazy. It does take some practice, but if you can get the hang of it, you know, then it works. You know, I might very occasionally get a loose stitch, but they've never been a problem because I've always been able to retighten the stitch and make sure that the tail ends are sewn in with, you know, surrounding stitches. So it's one of them things, you either try it and like it and want to practice it, or you try it and think, nah, no, not for me, move on. It, you know, but do let me know how you get on. There's no rule book. There's no, this is the right way and this is the wrong way. But with that video, the starting and ending, that is my way and my preferred way now, and has been for a long time. So yeah, I do want to do an update to that video at some point, but it's time. It really is. It's time. So I put out another video last week with Nadia Strokina's Sailing Fairy as the subject, and Kathy Richdale says, "Lovely, just love the colours in this one." Yeah, the colours in it are something else.
Do you need this?
Yes, the chart and kit were from Pain Free Crafts, and the colours are outstanding in it. They really are. Absolutely love it. Okay. Right. So Lynn on my last flush tube says, "Love the crocheting, go Lauren." Well, it was me that did the crocheting, but Lauren is getting there with doubles. Although she's put a crochet down over the last sort of few days. I think her friends have distracted her a little bit, but it's okay.
It's okay. I'll make it laugh.
She'll pick it up again when she's ready. So and my final comment, we still have about 10 minutes of video to go, so it's from Gio. We notice there's an echo in here.
Yes, it might be me.
On my Afromov piece, My Night Cafe, because I put a video out, Stitch With Me, with that. She says, "Hello, I love this piece. I'm too impatient, so I cropped the part I wanted out of Love Letters Chocolate Shop by Amy Stewart and started." I don't know if you've seen Stitch With Love or Stitch With Me's, but I'm trying her method, very methodical and meditative. Yeah, I've seen Stitch With Lovers. Amy, I think her name is. And as always, thank you for your content and taking the time out to share. It's my absolute pleasure, Gio. You know, for me now, filming these videos has become almost like a part of daily life. I just, you know, certain days of the week, I know it's part of my routine to set up the camera and off I go. So, and of course, you know, my lives as well now, which I love. And that is all of my comments. So do carry on making those comments, because I do like to talk about them in these Stitch With Me videos. I think it's only fair that if you take the time to comment, that I take the time to respond. But yeah, we'll have another 10 minutes at this, so we can get 500 stitches under 200 stitches under our belt. That's because I'm looking at colour number 500 and something. But my next plan, sorry about the camera quaking folks, Andy's messing under the sofa. My next plan is to get this bit filled in, because this is hair. But yeah, these ivy leaves are beautiful. I love them. And on all of the sins, they're all different. Avarice had gems, you know, like the sort of the outline of a diamond, of a, you know, a diamond cut. You're not taking your headphones with you?
No.
I should be taking mine. So yeah. When I come back from these couple of days, I come back on Wednesday, so I shall definitely be doing another stitch with me later in the week. I think it will be an ASMR one. Don't know what the subject piece will be. I haven't got that far yet. Oh, I've got a knot. That's better. I'm hoping that with my Lord of the Rings stained glass piece that I can get the black outlining done sooner rather than later, because I think I'd like to be putting some colour into that. And as soon as I can be at the point that I'm putting colour into it, that's coming out and stitch with me. Because I really don't think that people just want to see me stitching thousands and thousands of stitches of black. You know, I mean, at least with this, you've got some colour changes and something coming out. But with that, you don't. So I hear with my little ears something beginning with kettle. Sounds like Andy's making me another coffee, bless him. Get me going this morning. Get me some energy. I think I've about recovered from... We stayed in a travel Premier Inn on Friday night, and there was a radiator in the room. And every time the temperature changed, it made a ticking noise. And it drove me daft, and it kept me awake quite a bit, so... I think I've about recovered from that now. Thank you, my love. It's not often I get a second cuppa while I'm stitching. While I'm doing a stitch with me, should I say. squeaky needle. I think this one's tarnished a little bit, so I will need to change it, I reckon. Oh, this is when it gets difficult to put through the fabric. I think my hands are a bit sweaty as well, which doesn't help. Okay. Not many to go, and I've got to 200 in this hour, or it'll be perhaps just a fraction over by then, which is some good progress this morning. You back from being all domesticated, dear?
Yes, and the banana is awake.
All right, cool.
The banana.
Yeah. Okay. So I think as I finish these few stitches, I will do my reminders now rather than at the end of the video. So in a moment, there are 3 videos that will appear on your screen. If you haven't seen them, please do go take the time and have a look. My channel is solely supported by views. I don't have a buy me a coffee or anything like that. My YouTube channel is free to subscribe to, as are all YouTube channels, to be fair. And if you press the bell icon, you will be notified every time I upload a video. I do a regular schedule: floss tubes on Tuesdays, stitch with me's on Wednesdays and Fridays, and a live stream on a Sunday, with the occasional additional video thrown in along the way. If you would like to participate in my live stream and in the chats, then you will need to be subscribed to the channel. But as I say, subscribing is free, there is no cost. What else? I think that's about it. apart from, do keep your comments coming. I love to read them and read them out on these Chatty Stitch with Me's and answer any questions that you have. So if you do have anything that's burning, pop it in down below. And that is me done. That is 200 stitches in on this piece. Oh, they're gorgeous colours. The light sort of is, well, I'm still under electric light here, but it's got light outside now. So, oh dear. Time for a stretch. So thanks very much everybody for watching. Do take care, happy stitching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.